I'm a full time podcaster. I host a show called She's So Lucky, formerly known as Balanced Black Girl. And if I had to start my podcast all over, here's what I would do differently. I would stop hiding so much behind my guests. For quite some time, my podcast artwork was just a graphic, it did not have my photo on it. I really relied heavily on interviews. I didn't do solo episodes for quite some time, and I really allowed my guests to kind of take over the episodes, and there was very little of myself that I inserted into the show. This was a huge mistake because listeners want to know who they're listening to. Your guests aren't there week over week. The host is there week over week. So by not having my photo there, by not sharing my opinions, by not sharing aspects of my own story, the audience wasn't able to connect with me, and I really think it hindered my podcast growth. Something I still struggle with is inserting more of my opinions because I like hearing other people talk. I'm actually not somebody who has a bunch of hot takes that I want to get off or is the most opinionated person. I actually just like hearing other people talk about stuff, and I like being the facilitator. And I actually think that I'm far more talented as a facilitator than I am being the main one speaking. However, that's just not what audiences want. And so, in order to be in this game, I've had to learn how to start inserting myself more, but it's something that I'm still working on and haven't fully mastered. I would embrace video sooner. I spent about 5 years having an audio only show, and that was almost too late. At this point in the game, video is not optional, it is a must because most people are consuming podcasts via YouTube, and having clips of your show is a really effective way to market it. So, video is key. Next is I would promote shamelessly and I would repeat myself often. I would often think, okay, we already did an episode about this, or I mentioned this one time in this episode back in 2019, and that's just not often enough. People are coming and going, people forget. You need to promote shamelessly and repeat yourself constantly, even though it feels really annoying as a creator. And the last thing would be to get your production workflow into a science because producing a show week after week is a grind. So efficiency is everything. There was a time where I had a super efficient workflow. Over time, it has become a little bit less efficient with having things like video, recording in person. So now I'm going back to the drawing board to see how I can make recording in person, in studio, on video more efficient. But man, you really got to have your workflow down to a science.